Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to jump into remote collaboration, self-solve, for customer support and field service. My name is Lance Anderson, VP of Industry Solutions for CareAR. Some of you may know me from many previous AWEs. This is actually my 10th, believe it or not. Remote collaboration has been part of all those, quite frankly. So let's get into some details about this. I'm going to be doing a little bit of this today because I don't have a clicker. Rumor is one of my peers, competitors, stole it from us, but that's okay. Go ahead. Okay. All right, so how many of you have been through this, right? All you want to do is wash your socks. Next thing you know, you're on a service call. Someone's talking to you about finding the agitator, taking out the bootstrap, fixing something, and all you really want to do is get your laundry done, right? Go ahead. 82% of folks who've dealt with this, and I'm absolutely one of them, have stopped doing business with organizations that you have a bad customer experience with. And if you go ahead, this doesn't stop at the home. This goes right into the workplace. We all know what the issue is with hiring folks, tribal knowledge, knowledge transfer, the skills gap. We also know how expensive it is and time-consuming it is to send field techs out into the field to sometimes do the most simple of tasks that could have been dealt with if collaboration was done correctly. So how do we fix this? Enter the hero, right? The Superman of AR, remote collaboration. The heroine, the Wonder Woman of AR, which is remote collaboration with AR experience. Visual, contextual collaboration with an end user, multi-people, multi-experts around the world collaborating together, improving uptime, driving better, quicker, faster diagnoses, field techs issues resolved on the first visit if you do have to go out, and saving lots of money. Go ahead. So where does CareAR, I'm sorry, before I go to that, obviously COVID exploded for the remote collaboration industry. Couldn't go on site, we needed these tools. So I'm sure all of you, my guess if I said, had a show of hands, all of you have had to deal with remote collaboration in some way, shape, or form, whether it was just Teams or whether it was a smart glasses-based collaboration. So at this point, that really matured collaboration, remote collaboration, see what I see video, over that time frame. So this is really, at this point, if you're going to get into this space and you're going to enable this type of technology for your enterprise, these are the table stakes, right? If not, go ahead and use your FaceTime. So, but why does that not work? You need an enterprise-grade security, an enterprise-grade cloud platform with all kinds of APIs so you can integrate. You need scalable video that works with low latency. You need real augmented reality, not just pictures and on live video, so the feed is natural and clean and pure. A whole suite of tools, whether you need hotspots for information or just a laser pointer, circles, shapes, text, whatever you need to have that visual collaboration. It has to be simple. It has to work quick, immediately, one click to connect your folks, collaborate, and be able to very easily capture content. And you need the right tool for the job. Sometimes it's a phone, a tablet, a desktop, a drone, smart glasses, what have you. You have to have a platform that can span those products. Obviously, you want your analytics, and you need to be integrated with your CSM and FSN systems, and we'll get into that in a second. Go ahead. So CareAR ourselves, let's focus a little bit here today on the customer service and the field service, what we call the service experience. And our goal in life is to improve and reinvent this, right? It's about collaboration. It's about shifting work to the left, which we call self-serve. It's about deflecting dispatches, solving as quickly and as easily as we can, and saving organizations a lot of money and having clients be much, much more satisfied. Go ahead. So this is what we call service experience management. It's really the intersection of the employee experience and the customer experience. So the picture of me trying to fix my Whirlpool washing machine at home versus sending the Whirlpool technician out to fix something that's a little bit more complicated, right? This type of experience all coming out of one system, transforming this experience. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. All right, so how do we do it? A lot of difficult and complex technology to make things very simple. So for us, it's very key that we're inside of some type of CSM, FSM, ERP system where we're creating a work order. From that work order, you launch into the CareAR application, and we help you see it, solve it, and of course, save it. documenting this within those tickets, getting back into the work order, making sure that all of this session and all the information and all of the solving is traceable, auditable, and searchable for later viewing. Go ahead. Right? You need to be able to do this across a whole broad range of devices, as I talked about before. CareAR, we call it, from the seat to the air, right? So from your desktops, your mobile phones, smart glasses, these are a smattering of the smart glasses that we currently support, and of course drones. It's the right tool for the right job, and you have to be interoperable for your technicians and for your customers. Go ahead. You also need to do this across a broad range of use cases, right? Is it just a service desk call? Is someone out in the field with a complex piece of machinery? Or is it your car? Is it a plane? We also want to focus on self-solve, right? If I can self-solve my problem without talking to a human being at this point, I'm much happier, because really the goal is not to talk to someone, it's not to have the remote collaboration, it's to get back into operation. It's to get my socks done in my washing machine. It's to get that tractor back up and running and get that train back on the tracks. And of course, training and upskilling. No one can deny that's a valuable use. And furthermore, if you go ahead, back one, we need to do this across a broad range of industries. And every industry has its own little peculiarities and specificities. Manufacturing, obviously, we have all seen that, telecom, IT services. We're seeing a lot more in healthcare, obviously driven by the pandemic. Finance, ATM machines, things like that, and retail. As retail comes back and they struggle for employees and they struggle for the dollars and people's feet inside the stores, retail has become a very, very important vertical. So how does CareAR believe and know and prove that this technology can scale? If you go ahead. Our belief is that you need and must be integrated, right? Having a remote collaboration tool that's completely a point solution out on its own, not enterprise grade, it may solve an initial problem, but it's not going to scale across your enterprise, right? It doesn't become sticky. It's been proven over the last 10 years that I've been doing this. The only path is integration, right? You need to have your collaboration live inside of your customer, CSM, your customer service management system, FSM, your field service, such as a ServiceNow, a Salesforce, an Oracle, something like that, right? Being able to come out of a ticket into our system, have your collaboration, video, record it, meta tag all that data, and bring it back into your ticket is absolutely imperative for scaling in the enterprise. You obviously want to avoid technology sprawl. I mean, every little app, every new iteration is an IT nightmare, right? And connecting all of those pieces together, enterprises don't do that. They need a single platform to do this on, so that all of your data, so that you can use machine learning or AI later, you can't have all that data siloed and tagged differently. Having it in one system allows you to really take advantage of that, whether it's today or upcoming as you roll in your AI insights. And of course, choose a partner that's going to take you through your journey, right? Again, not point solutions, but someone who's going to build with you, someone who can provide all the self-serve opportunities that we're going to talk about here in a second. You can go ahead. All right, not going to go through all this, but it's just a quick visual of what the journey is to solve. You're starting at the green, at the upper left corner where the customer has an issue. You want to end up in the bottom right corner, resolved as fast as you can. If you can solve that in the first step, let's call that, I engage, I search for my Whirlpool number, I pull up something, I get served an augmented reality self-serve solution. I click a QR code on my phone, I look at my washing machine, and I got instructed and walked through a process. Maybe even there's some state detection, is the door open or closed, is the filter in or out? All these things drive me through. If I can solve it there, home run. I'm happy as a customer. Business is happy because they saved a lot of money or deferred a lot of money, and here we are. And then you keep walking. So it's self-solve, and then the remote collaboration as the hero, coming in when automation and self-solve fails. Bring in the human, bring in the expert. But it doesn't just stop there. We need to help the level 1 and level 2 technicians, the ones who take the call. They may not work on that Whirlpool product every day, right? So they're not experts. So again, we want to avoid those folks having to escalate up to an L2, L3, an expert. Very expensive, harder to find. So if we can give them digital twins to work with, we can give them information, their own AR experiences in order to see what the person in the field is seeing to solve those problems, even better. It's all about solving things sooner rather than later. Go ahead. What does this do? Well, with our integration with ServiceNow over the last 6 months, these are our numbers. These are real, right? We're saving 1 out of every 3 calls by self-serving. We've deflected it's well over 5,000 dispatches right now. We're remote solving 50% of the time, as opposed to rolling a truck. It's massive. Everybody's happy with that. And with our green initiative, by not rolling trucks, by not sending people out, we're saving thousands and thousands on emissions. Go ahead. All right. So we do this as a little bit of our differentiation. So within remote collaboration, we have CareAR Assist, which is actually the collaboration, the point of visual collaboration. Instruct, these can be self-serve solutions, AR experiences, information that's brought into Instruct, and of course our insights, our AR and AI that we put on top of this. And this is what I'm talking about with, you want a client that has the AR platform to take you through this journey, to deflect these calls and to deliver the point of cure information that the person needs to solve the problem. Go ahead. All right. And this is a slide, I'm not so sure all of you are familiar with this. It's what we call shifting left, taking the cost out, right? So if on the right is the most expensive, level 3 technicians, your engineers, all that required to solve a problem, all the way to the left, which quite frankly is even eliminating the problem before it starts with maintenance and proactive maintenance based on AI insights, but at the very least self-solving to eliminate calls. Time to resolution goes way down, cost to resolution goes way down, customer satisfaction goes way up, corporate profits go up. That's what we talk about shifting left. So again, everything we can do to solve faster, earlier, and quicker, this is our metric by which we judge ourselves. Go ahead. All right. So what does that look like? So what does a self-service solution look like in the field? We can have just a product walkthrough where we're walking you through with you can just hold your phone or your tablet or your smart glasses around this device with little hotspots, contextual information, showing you what the door is. If I'm looking for the agitator on the washing machine, I'll get an AR visual of what that is. Troubleshooting guides, right? Self-serve troubleshooting guides for the most common issues that products or people or processes have. Right? If this is a solution, a troubleshooting that solves 70% of the problems, let's automate that. Let's put it up front and let someone try to self-solve their way through that. With CareAR, we even do things like state detection and things like that, so we can validate that work as you go through it, and which is really important for a maintenance procedure, right? Someone saying they did the maintenance is very different than having a system with the computer vision be able to verify and validate that work's been done. Go ahead. And again, like I said, this doesn't stop at just the folks in the field. This is also for the technicians back on the phone that are in the collaborative. They can have a digital twin. For some big piece of machinery, there's no way they could have it in their call center, but now they can spin it around, take a look at it, and get all the contextual information that they need to help the person in the field solve the problem. Go ahead. All right. All this does is drive outcomes, and you can go ahead and hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times if you don't mind, because there's a little bit of animation in here. Thank you. 4, one more. Okay. So again, what all this does, we drive real outcomes with this, right? Increasing those first-time fix rates, that's number one. That's what everybody wants on both sides of the coin. But think about being proactive. Think about sending out a product. If you're an OEM manufacturer, and instead of printing a big old manual, you send out a QR code. And when someone launches that QR code because they need help, we take them into this interactive AR self-solve world. And if they can't solve it themselves, boom, they can get launched into talking to an expert. And all of that information, again, if you're integrated into your CSM or FSN system, all the work that you did on your self-serve gets moved right into that ticket. So when someone picks up the phone to talk to you, they don't have to start over with, what's your name, Lance? What's your part number, Lance? What's your serial number? All that stuff, which is very, very frustrating. You can go ahead. Hit me on the one. It also drives business outcomes. So these are real numbers. First-time fix rates up to 50%. These are real. We can show it. We have all the case studies for it. Go ahead. A proactive and interactive UX will improve the serviceability and uptime by at least 40%, and in some cases it's even more. I can give you some use cases after we get off the stage here. And the third one, please. It's all about customer satisfaction, right? It's not about the process. It's about mean time to fix, mean time to getting my system back in operation, mean time to using whatever it is that I need to use, right? We don't want to live in the resolution. We want to live in the fix. You can go ahead. So here at CareAR, Xerox is our mother company. So we're not just pontificators of this technology, we're users of this technology. Quite frankly, Xerox is the largest deployment of technicians that we know of in the world that are using this technology. 6,000 technicians are using this every day. 10,000 calls a month, right? We're deflecting 30% of those. We buy it through self-solve. Diagnosis for issues has improved 50% with all these technicians. These are real numbers. 10% cost savings, deflecting tons and tons of truck rolls, saving emissions and keeping clients happy. For a basic printer to printing presses and what have you with millions of dollars at stake, but all you want to do is print that report. Or some guy doing a presentation at AWE, I just want to print my notes right before I get on stage so I don't get in trouble. This is real. We use this technology, and we have many more case studies, but this is probably the biggest one that we have. One more for me? So just to wrap up here, and I'll leave us just maybe 4 or 5 minutes to take a few questions. Again, for anybody out there that wants to deploy an enterprise, to ensure your success, make sure you have a partner that has enterprise-grade product, enterprise-grade AR, enterprise-grade remote support, right? Anything short of that, you're never going to scale. So make sure you pick the right partner for your journey, because it is a journey. It's not just a point solution that you put in once. You're going to improve this. You're going to create more self-solve experiences. You're going to keep building this as you continue to hone the process and improve your ROI. Focus on remote collaboration, self-solve experiences that can live within your system of record. For us, we're talking customer and service experience. That's going to live within your CSM and FSM systems, your ServiceNows. All of this will help you drive scale. It's going to help you reduce your technical sprawl, which your IT is going to love. It's going to increase the value to the company, and most importantly, it's going to vastly increase and improve your customer experience and loyalty. And this is really how CareAR is reinventing the service experience. I didn't go through any demos and show you the cool AR tech, because we have a lot of it. So come out to booth 843 if you can, right? We'll walk you all through this. You can experience it for yourself, going in and out of a ticket, going through some of the self-solve solutions that we have out there. Enjoy the coffee at the break while you're doing it. And please come by and see us. So I've got about 4 or 5 minutes left. So if there's any questions, if not, I'll dance for you. That's not a promise.
When I saw CareAR, I actually thought healthcare. Are you implementing this?
We work in healthcare, so that's a nice little segue there. Care is care. Care can be in healthcare. We care for our employees. We care for our field technicians, what have you. So healthcare applications, think about servicing MRI machines, things like that in the hospitals, obviously quite important. Downtime, super expensive. Downtime, really intrusive to the patient who took a day off to schedule it, gets there and can't get their tests. Obviously, health ramifications, expenses to that. So we work a lot in that space, which is OEM equipment repair, hospital facilities management, things like that. When instead of having to roll a bunch of experts, can we get the one person on site to solve the problem? And that's key for us. MRI, maintenance and calibration. That's something that has to be done all the time. So that would be more like a maintenance procedure, things like that.
I know it's after lunch, so if you guys don't want to stand at the microphone, I have the mic. I will bring it to you.
Anyone?
Yeah?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are you mitigating risk on network or bandwidth issues if that does come across in an open ticket?
So the key is to have a system that's going to be cognitively aware of your connection, right, and what your bandwidth is at any given time. And then I'm not going to get into the X's and O's. You can come to the booth and talk to some of our experts to lay that out on you. But really what it comes down to is recognizing the bandwidth that you have and then serving up the experience as best you can with the bandwidth you have, right? So lower the bells and whistles, deliver the core competency, and make sure you have a system that's aware of it. But connectivity is a reality of this, right? It's if you have to have connectivity. So there's challenges to that, people using hotspots and things like that. So as soon as you get on cellular, at least today, before our 5G comes and dominates our world, yeah, you have to be very cognizant of low bandwidth and make sure that you can work inside those environments. Yeah.
How do you integrate with the internal systems, or do you fight those battles? Large enterprise customers, certain security compliance, back-end systems?
We love talking to IT, and we go and we have our security powwows, filling out 90-page documents and things like that. Hey, IT security has a purpose and it has its job. It's protecting the company from us from doing stupid things and loading stupid and opening ourselves up to attack. So they have their job and we have to work within them. So for us, it's having these APIs and having pre-built, pre-configured integrations with with companies like ServiceNow, right? Where we're already embedded inside of their system, so we live in there. So if you have ServiceNow, you can activate CareAR without having to go through all those hurdles again, or SAP, or Salesforce, or things like that. So for us, it's very important to live inside of those systems.
If it were a bespoke back-end solution.
What's
would you
that?
approach those? If it was some
Sure.
bespoke solution.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to have a provider or a partner who recognizes there's no such thing as a standard integration. It doesn't exist. You can call it SAP, but it's been integrated and deployed in a completely different way. So simple APIs, having the service team with the competency to do it, and having the depth and breadth in an organization, right? So that's why we shy away from some of the companies with 2 or 3 folks kind of pitching this. You need a team, you need a service team, and maybe you have integration partners. We work with a ton of those. That's probably the core group that'll go in and do that work for us, whether it's all the way up as an Accenture or some small integrator, what have you. We keep our stuff open and partner with those folks as well. But those are the realities of deploying in the enterprise, and you have to deal with them. Yeah.
What's involved in the ticket for getting in and out of ServiceNow or SAP?
So for us, that's kind of one of the real powerful parts of our integration that we have with ServiceNow, is the ability that you literally don't go out of the ticket, we live within it, right? So if you want to record your entire augmented reality video session, you can. We throw some metadata on it, it's tagged, it's within the ticket. We don't save it there, it's a link that gets saved off on a cloud, of course. But that is accessible for an audit later, that's accessible. Let's say you had a customer technician AR experience, and you found out they couldn't self-solve. You needed to send out a repair person because you needed to fix a warranty part. Well, instead of that just getting kicked over as just, hey, there's a service ticket to go to Lance's house and fix his HVAC, no, they get to see that whole ticket. They get to see what happened, they get to see it. If they want to view the video, they can view it. We then branch out right into scheduling, right? Scheduling technicians, we go into parts, so they have the right part supply, so you can save money on parts, you can save money on that. And it stays right within that system, all auditable and trackable. Go ahead.
But is that a professional services engagement, or is that something out of the box?
For some of our partners, like ServiceNow, it's out of the box. I mean, we literally have a CareAR Assist easy button that lives within ServiceNow. If you have ServiceNow, CSM, FSM, all you need to do is buy a license, click the button, and you can launch right into our system. When you're done, complete it, and it brings you right back into your ticket, right where you left off. So very powerful. And we have other integrations with some of the other bigger providers. Again, a bespoke company, we'd have to work through that a little bit, but for some of our bigger partners, it really is plug and play, which makes deployment hours, not days. So, thank you. I'm at 0. Anybody else?
Give our
All right, thanks,
panelists a
guys.
round of applause. Our speaker, our guest speaker.